Namaste, Kiriti. Thank you for asking such a very practical and a life guiding question. We all suffer from this, what we go through in our day to day life, and especially such questions of forgiving and forgetting, they arise mainly because of our interactions or betrayal from the loved ones, from especially from friends and family members. Right. And according to our heartfulness philosophy, any thought or action, including this very act, whenever we do something, there are only two things that happens. Either you are mentally affected with a on which you keep thinking about it, and also emotionally gets affected, and that heart is burdened with such pain. So we have all this memory, emotional memory and cognitive memory, right? Mental memory or the memory by the emotion. Okay. It is important, first of all, to get rid of this emotional memory. Often, such thing happens. Most of the actions are because of misunderstanding. You say something, other person understands it as something else, and it perpetuates. So, understanding is also required from both sides. And even when you fully understand that other person has done harm to you, but keeping that hurt in your heart is not going to help you. Unless and until you develop a bigger heart than the other person, unless and until you forgive literally from your heart, it will stay not only in this life, but you will carry on with these impressions into the next life. Even if you are a good person, even if you have not hurt anybody else, but being hurt yourself, you will carry the seeds of hurt, we call samskars, into future. So sooner we dissolve and settle the score of hurt, better it is. And moment you have fully dissolved this hurt from the heart, the cognitive memory at a mental level, whether it is there or not, it is immaterial. You see, you will be smiling, in fact, whenever you remember something wrong that was done by someone, but you got over it with right understanding and forgiving, then you will not bother about even recollection at a mental level. It will come and go, and you'll simply smile about it. See? And Sahajmarg Paddhati, it helps us when we do our evening cleaning. It removes such sort of misunderstanding. And before we go to sleep, we pray to God that if I have done something myself, please forgive me and help me so that I don't repeat it. And also settle it with the other person by praying that I don't carry this poison in my heart. You see, if you keep remembering with your heart, with emotion, this poison will remain in your heart. It's a visham. And that will spoil not only your physical health, it will spoil your physical health, your mental health, and more importantly, your spiritual welfare. So, sooner you get rid of this, better it is. And unless and until you get out of this hurt feeling, love cannot come from the heart. And our whole existence is driven by love. And when love does not flow from your heart, whom are you hurting? Are you hurting the person who hurt you, or you're hurting yourself even more? Please think about this. The voice of the heart, it comes in many ways. One of the ways is when you study the current situation and it is guiding us. The heart keeps guiding us based on the current situation. That's in a day to day life, here and now. Whatever happens in the past or has happened in the past, it is stored in our subconscious. For example, someone has cheated you or someone has helped you. It remains in your memory at some level, right? Though you may have forgotten, I mean, you may have forgiven at a heart level, but you'll be remembering it. So, based on your cognitive mental memory, you will be able to make the decision. See, should I still trust this person or not? And based on your personal experience, you'll be able to make a right decision from the subconscious past. When you talk of superconscious, such sort of guidance happens during our meditation when it becomes very futuristic. Superconscious is also guiding us through intuition that now let me do this, let me do that. And that has no basis whatsoever with our past. In fact, superconscious, when it is awakened, it stands on its own without depending upon whatever may have happened in the past. So, whenever the decision that we are making and you think it is subconscious or superconscious, try to study it whether did you have to depend on the past. If you have to depend on the past, then it is coming from your subconscious. And when it has nothing to do whatsoever with your past, then it is superconscious. And very rarely, very rarely, superconscious knowledge descends because we still have to evolve to such level. At least one must be able to become joyful in the heart. You see. There are many levels, if I may have to share this with you, that people who keep getting angry, for example, people who are very peaceful and quiet, who are better? I mean, all of us at some point or the other, we become angry. So, best is not to make decisions when you are angry, when you are actually in a quiet, peaceful, calm spirit. That's the moment to make a right decision, you see. Now, further, you can be calm and peaceful. But what if there is a revengeful heart in you? You may be quietly waiting for taking the revenge, very peaceful, very quiet. But that revengeful attitude is there. You may be jealous in your heart, you may be possessive, though you are externally at a mental level, you are at a peace. This is like sugarcoating the bitter thing, see. And such inner thing which you are harboring in your heart is a poison. See. So, under such circumstances, we are not able to make good decisions. Another thing is when you become calm, and this calmness and joy, they depend, I mean, it just that state of happiness, that calmness is another thing, see. And still a higher state where you are in a state of bliss, total anandam. It does not depend on your status. But because of the meditation, when we transcend anger, when we transcend calmness, when we transcend happiness, when we transcend joyful state and become more blissful, each one is superior to the previous one. source of thoughts in everyone is always from within, how we respond to various situations. It is always our reaction. Thoughts are the reaction to everything that has happened and is happening and will happen in the future. For example, when you have had a relationship, you had a problem with, doesn't matter who, you'll think about it, how to solve the problem. Those thoughts will come. In the present, you may be planning certain thing that after this meditation, what should I be doing? So that thoughts will come. And about the near future or the distant future, not only about yourself, but the family, or if you're working in an office or working for someone or you're doing a business, it one needs to plan things. So those thoughts will also come. But it is your own response to various circumstances. See, future that has not happened. The present, of course, you have to plan. And the past, we all indulge, unfortunately. So, sooner we let go of all these things, better we are at a mental level. Best is, also I have noticed that most of the thoughts I particularly get are related to unfinished work. They haunt me. And these are all coming from within myself as a reminder that Kamlesh bhai, you have to do this. You have forgotten this. So try to finish what you are supposed to do. And about certain memory, we keep on having it because we have not settled the score with other person. Something that I should have said sorry to my husband or to my children or to my grandparents or to my mother-in-law. They all haunt us. So we should, I think, make peace with our past. And it's very easy. Let go of it, give it to your master, give it to your guru, give it to God, and say, please, this is my past. I cannot handle it anymore. I can do nothing about the past. It has already happened. And you give that to your guru. Thank you. So, if you're asking about your problem, you have to work on it. If you are asking about somebody else's problem, it is the other person's problem. Why are you worried about it? You're not going to solve it, right? You can solve only your problem. You cannot solve even your father's problem. You cannot solve even your mother's problem or your children's problem or your wife's problem. You can solve only your problem as far as spirituality is concerned. So, if somebody else has a lack of character, our duty is to pray to God that may this brother or this sister be free from lack of character or lack of morality. Right? So you should pray. Pray tonight before you go to sleep. Thank you. You see, this is very fundamental question. We have to understand it. Try to understand the yogic chakra system of animals, human, and entities beyond human. Below us in the animal kingdom, for example, dogs, cows, buffaloes, lion, elephant, cat, you name them, birds, they all have the three chakras, which we also have. Three lower chakras, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipur. They are common between us. What makes us human is the beginning of this Pinda Pradesh from the heart. Within that Pinda Pradesh, there are five chakras. And once we cross these Panchabhutas, once we transcend these Panchabhutas, Babuji says, you are no longer in the clutch of these Panchabhutas. The progress within the Pind Pradesh is because of your efforts, because of your tapas, because of your penances, because of your regular sadhana, because of your dedication to your goal. Up to the animal kingdom, it is automatic, it follows the natural process. When we have to progress within the Pind Pradesh, it is driven by our own individual will up to the sixth chakra. But by chance, if you die after that and you want to go to central region, you will be progressing, but at a natural speed, and there will be people who will be training us in the higher regions by other souls, other higher levels of souls. They also have a kind of training at a vibratory level. Once I was communicating with our medium, and she told me about my father, whom I knew he was already liberated, but had not reached the central region. So I asked, what about him? She said, he and many other souls of that level are being trained by Babuji Maharaj in the brighter world. He visits them now and then and works with them. So I hope I answered this question. The famous sage or our national saint, I would like to call Swami Vivekananda, undisputed personality. He used to say that if logic is used with the right steps, with the correct logical argument, then the answers that arises from the knowledge logic will also meet up with the signals of the heart. So eventually both will merge, provided if you have taken the right steps. Love also, if it is um, wrongly focused, you see, just as mind can think all kinds of things, it has its freedom. Similarly, the heart also has the freedom to channelize love in many directions. So love, if it is attached to the objective world, to this and that, like knowledge, which is also directed in many directions in the objective world, that will not help us. But when both the heart and the mind are in sync with the subjective world, with what that is matters, and we focus our attention. When the heart is pure, when heart is at silence, the purity of heart will make sure that mind also remains calm and peaceful. Both has to be in sync. This sync in Yoga Shastra, they say this man has achieved state of yoga. So it is the, to putting it very simply, this sinking or the eclipse of the conscience of the heart with the logic of the mind, when they fit very well together, that is the most ideal situation, see. And to understand the mind and to understand the heart, what is required is peacefully you meditate and let the guidance, let the wisdom guide you from the heart. Thank you all.